You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. You know that by now. It's AGT. As you can see, I've gone a bit crazy since the football's been away. It's been a difficult period, obviously, for the country that's in mourning of the Queen, but for football fans in particular, the strange reason to get rid of the football matches at every single level kind of perplexed me. So I thought I'd come back on and do a preview for the Ajax game tomorrow night at Anfield, which I cannot wait for, and we will be doing fan cams after that. But two, just to ask your opinion on how you think the situation really has been handled by everyone in the media, especially with the cancelling of football games. But guys, big up to you if you're watching for life. We've got June, Geordie Toon for life. Afternoon, Alex. See, Newcastle fans are loving the Kop TV as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also go over to the Magpie channel, and I'm sure you've already subscribed to him if you're a Geordie Toon for life, I should say. Right, this game tomorrow, and obviously please do remember to like the video, comment with your thoughts of what the team's going to be, of what the score is going to be tomorrow night, and don't forget to subscribe to the Kop TV if you haven't already. This close to 26,000, so make sure you definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Right, Ajax tomorrow night. A lot of reasons, or let me start that again. A lot of different feelings towards this game tomorrow night. Obviously, it's the second game of the Champions League, and not only do we need to win, but there'll also be the added pressure of all the kind of fans around the country watching this one when it comes to the minute silence tomorrow night. Klopp has come out in his latest press conference and said that he expects the fans to, observe that minute silence and not make any noise during it. Now, no matter what your feelings are towards the royal family, I do think this minute of silence should be observed. I will say that. I myself, I'll be standing in the Kop. I'll definitely pay my 60 seconds of silence. And I think if you don't do that, then maybe just we'll go and wait in the concourses. But I think it would be a better message to send around the country for Scousers and people that go to the game every week at Anfield. To enforce that we respect it, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say on it. But I know Klopp's come out and said that, so maybe we should definitely listen to him here. Right, a lot of people with their score predictions already. Matisse says he thinks it will be a draw, 1-1. Can't afford more bad media. Exactly, Tammy. The city's been through enough recently, especially. Let's get into the head-to-head record. I wanted to share my screen with you here and show you this that I saw earlier. Now, Ajax and Liverpool have played each other 5 times in the European Cup before. So let's look at the head-to-head record in the Champions League. Obviously, we're playing Ajax tomorrow night. They've obviously won as well their first game with Rangers 4-0, by the way. So we need to make sure that this isn't a repeat of the Napoli game and we concede another 4 goals in the Champions League. But these are no mugs. As we know, it would be disrespectful, definitely, to call them that anyway. But what I do think we have to say is they're a sleeping giant. We've seen the head-to-head stats here. 2 wins for Liverpool, 1 draw and 1 win for Ajax. They obviously, I think they won at Anfield, didn't they, in that season where we beat them 1-0 away? I'm pretty sure they beat us at Anfield. They've scored 7 against us. We've scored 5 against them. Not a massively high-scoring fixture. But Mohamed Salah is now confirmed as our all-time goal scorer in the Champions League with 34 goals. Jari Litmanen, a former Liverpool player, of course, if you're old enough to remember big Jari. Well, it wasn't that big, to be fair, about 5'8". But Jari Litmanen, who played for Liverpool during the years 2001 and 2002, he's the all-time top scorer for Ajax in this competition with 20. And you know what? Look at this. 4 times European Cup winners, no less, Ajax. So as much as they get called a sleeping giant, they do have the history and they do have that respect there in Europe. And as you can see, that's backed up by the fact that they have 4 Champions League titles, the most recent one being in 1995 and our most recent, obviously, in 2019. As you can see here, we beat them there and we beat them away, actually. So we beat them home and away in that group, which is really good to see, to be fair. Curtis Jones scored the winner on that night. And I believe, who scored the winner that night? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to play the highlights here because I'll get copyrighted. But yeah, these are the games that we've played. Obviously, it's a long time since we played them before 2021 in the Champions League. But 1966-67, you can see they put 5 past us in the second round, first leg. And in the second leg, it was 2-2 at Anfield. But then, of course, we've beat them twice recently here. So, listen, in terms of recent form, Liverpool are more than capable to beat Ajax. But as I mentioned, they do have that 4-0 victory over Rangers to brag about. And we obviously don't. We've lost our first game of the season. So it is time for Liverpool to make sure that we put Ajax to the sword and definitely beat them tomorrow night convincingly at Anfield. We have to turn this around. I mean, I've been rinsed by Arsenal fans, of all people, who haven't even been in the Champions League since 2017. But Arsenal fans, a few of them have been talking about Europa League football. And if we lose this, is it a Europa League campaign for Liverpool? Well, no. If we lose this, there are still 4 games, and we would have to make it even harder for ourselves than it currently is, having lost the first game. And we have done that before, where we've come real deep on and late on in the group and managed to qualify. So unlike last year when we won 6 out of 6 group games against the likes of AC Milan, Atletico de Madrid and Porto. Not easy teams to beat, by the way. You look at what AC are doing right now, Porto especially. So as much as we need to win tomorrow, and if we don't win tomorrow, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be a lot harder. Having said all of that, we do need to win tomorrow, because I can't under this Jurgen Klopp team ever see us in the Europa League or the Conference League ever. So we have to remain and continue that status of being a Champions League team that in the last 5 years we've reached 3 finals. And look at Real Madrid last year. They lost the first game and went on to win it. So who knows, guys? It is in Istanbul as well. So what do you think the score is going to be? I want to know from you right now. It's very difficult to put a score prediction on it, considering our last game was a Champions League game. I'd like to find out. Maybe I doubt this has ever happened in history, but I'd be pretty sure in saying that this is the first time 2 fixtures for Liverpool in a row have been Champions League games due to the obviously cancelling of the football at the weekend. So difficult, because in that last game we were well off it. The only kind of benefit is that we've had, I guess, a week for our players to keep on training, keep on getting fit, getting match fit. More importantly, you look at Jota and Matip, who came on last week, and Thiago. I start them all tomorrow night against Ajax. So they all have to play for me. That midfield was so lacking against Napoli. The defence was half asleep most of the time. So we have to play better. There's no doubt. But I just wonder, would have it helped if we did have that Premier League game at the weekend to get back up to it? We haven't got it. So we're going to have to go into this one kind of unsighted, without any match experience since the last game. But at Anfield, under the lights, Champions League is back at Anfield for the first time since, well, when was it? We got to the final. So it would have been the semi-final at home to Villarreal. So it's not been at Anfield really since April. And it's now September. So we've gone a good 5-6 months without having Champions League football at Anfield due to the way it's all panned out. But it's back, and we need to make sure as a fan base. I mean, I remember in the fan cams for the last video against Napoli, we said that we need the fans now more than ever at Wolves. We didn't get that opportunity, so that message goes through onto Tuesday night. We need every single fan in there to be absolutely as loud as possible and support the boys absolutely till the end, because as we've seen against Newcastle, it really, really does count right up until the last kick of the game. So Liverpool have to win tomorrow. There's no question about that. But what is the team that is going to deliver that victory, hopefully? It has to be Alisson in goal. It has to be Trent, even though I don't think, well, I know for a fact that he didn't have his best game for Liverpool last week, which kind of culminates in maybe 2 or 3 weeks of a little bit of a downturn in form for Trent, which is a bit of an understatement, to be fair, when you see some of the body language and the lack of sprinting, the lack of getting backtracking, especially in that Napoli game. So he's going to have to do something a little bit different and really raise the levels. It has to be Matip and it has to be Van Dijk. Van Dijk seriously hasn't considered himself to be as on form as he was last season, especially with his kind of last 2 or 3 performances that haven't been up to level. So we'll need to make sure that Van Dijk and Matip partnership is as strong as ever, because that really is the partnership, I think, for Liverpool to go with, not only in the Premier League, but the Champions League as well. Hopefully we see Konate back soon. I mean, he's been injured for a long time now, and it must be frustrating for him. He's pretty much starting every game, playing unbelievable, especially in the Champions League final. But it will be good to have him back as backup. Obviously, Joe Gomez will get dropped for this game. And then left back, it seems today that Robbo is out of this game. There's no Andy Robertson for this game against Ajax tomorrow night, injured. Trying to work out exactly how long he'll be out for. But if it's Andy Robertson, and if we all know Andy Robertson, he'll make sure that that's as quick as possible, that recovery. But Klopp in his press conference today did say no Andy Robertson. So Kostas Tsimikas will be starting tomorrow night. And in the midfield, I mean, I've been calling for a little bit of a change of formation. But at Anfield, I guess Klopp will go with the trusted 4-3-3. Obviously, Aaron Ramsey is going to be in action for Ajax last night, tomorrow night. Calvin Bassey, who used to play at Rangers, will be playing as well. And they have got some very dangerous players, Dusan Tadic. But a couple of their weaknesses, I think, lie in the defence, especially on Daley Blind's side, which I guess would be Mo Salah's side. What a time and what a night for Mo Salah to really recapture the form and the love from the Anfield faithful that he deserves. Aaron Ramsey at Ajax? No, he's at Nice. So I'm not too sure why I said that. I just saw someone say, can't wait to see Ramsey in action. So I went along with it. But that's fake news. He does not play for Ajax. He plays for Nice. But there is another Ramsey who does play for Ajax. A lot of people asking for Trent to be in midfield as well. Like myself, but I guess we can't ever do that until Calvin Ramsey's fit. I'd love to see a cameo from Calvin Ramsey as soon as possible, just to show us something, because we've not seen anything so far. I'd love to see a little cameo performance. He comes on, takes a few corners. I'd love to see that technique that we've all been hearing about, but it doesn't look like he's going to be back really within the next couple of weeks, but he's going to be a massive part throughout the season in the League Cup games, etc. I do believe that, and hopefully some cameo performances in the Premier League and Champions League, just like Nico Williams did last year in terms of a backup right back. So to recap that, Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk and Tsimikas in the midfield. Thiago has to start, and I want to see Thiago, if he can, put a real good 5 or 10 game run together now. I wouldn't ask for anything more than seeing Thiago Alcantara just play successfully without injuries for the next 5 to 10 games. I'd love to see it. And then he obviously has to start with Fabinho, who again hasn't been playing that well, had a bit of a howler against Fabinho on that right central hand side with Trent, with Joe Gomez, with Van Dijk. So he needs to really step it up. And we have to have a big start tomorrow night. We've got to start strong. So I'm going to go with Thiago, Fabinho, and I guess Harvey Elliott retains his place in the midfield. Easily been one of the top 3 players this season, Harvey alongside Luis Diaz and Alisson. The only thing I guess we'd want to see a little bit more from Harvey is maybe his starting position being a little bit deeper. The thing is with Harvey, and what people don't understand and massively underestimate, is his tackles and retentions of the ball. He normally likes to win it and play it forward straight away. But I guess when you don't have Henderson in that pocket covering Trent when he makes them big runs on the right, we are a tiny bit exposed. And you saw that in the Napoli game. So hopefully Trent and Harvey have got that unlocked tomorrow night. I mean, Carvalho could start. I think he might be back now after his slight injury against Everton. So I guess he'll be on the bench, but I'd still go with Harvey Elliott. And then up front, I would personally like to see Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez and Salah. I do think everything is built up for Darwin Núñez to score his Champions League debut goal for Liverpool tomorrow night. I'd love to see it. And then you bring on your Jotas, your Firminos as well. Let me know if you agree with that one in the comments. So I've got Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Thiago, Fabinho, Harvey Elliott, Diaz, Darwin and Salah on that right. And I'd go and tell Salah to go at Daley Blind and beat him for pace all the time. Ajax fan getting in the chat here, Matthias, who says Darwin is overhyped. You overpaid for him. Well, we'll see tomorrow night. I guess don't speak before the game. We'll see what happens, my friend. Elliot's poor in defence, as we just touched on there. Ajax was so good last week. Kudos, baller. One would drop Trent and put Gomez at right back. I don't see that happening, to be honest. Carvalho should start and give Elliot a rest. Thiago versus Alvarez would be a great battle. Obviously, Alvarez in midfield for Ajax. Let me know a little bit more about him, Matthias, if you can, because I'd love to hear about how you feel like he's going to deal with that Liverpool midfield if it starts like that. Andy's gone with Alisson, Joe Gomez at right back. Fabiano, Joe Matip, Costas Simicas, Elliot, Bekic, Fabinho, Diaz, Nunes. I was very, very precise. Big up to you, Andy. Thank you for the chat there. The crowd definitely needs to be up for this one. Ahmed, totally agree with you, 100%. How is Darwin overhyped? He's played 176 minutes. Give him a break. This is why we've got to just keep playing Darwin as things stand. Perfect front three. That says Tammy. Put a 4-2-3-1 and put Elliot and Cam. This is also a very, very interesting formation and thesis, really, that I agree with. I do think we should change the formation and play around with it. But I'm going to go with the score Liverpool 3-1 Ajax. I do think we'll win. And obviously, we've got to go there and win and get a result still in October. And I am going to that game. So Ajax fans, Liverpool fans, if you're out there at the stadium in Amsterdam, the Johan Cruyff Arena, then make sure you let us know and we can do a fan cam, etc. Massively looking forward to going back to Amsterdam. It's the one away day I really, really wanted in the Champions League, and we've got it. What a beautiful city Ajax is, by the way. I have to pay my respects to the city of Amsterdam. Unbelievable place. The people are great there as well. Amazing, beautiful city for sure, and I can't wait to go there and pay my respects. So I'm going to go 3-1. There's my team as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Would you change it? And what's your score prediction as well? Don't forget, we'll be outside Anfield with the fan cam straight after full time tomorrow in the first game at Anfield in the Champions League since April. Can't wait for it. Big up to Matthias, who says, can't wait for the battle. And as an Ajax fan, we deeply respect Liverpool. A great way to finish off the show. There's your match preview. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. And especially don't forget, tomorrow, we will have a live Hot Topics for you. Myself, James Redmond, and Mario, we're doing it live for the first time in the studio in Liverpool City Centre. We're going to be taking your questions and, more importantly, your hot topics. So if you have any hot topics for tomorrow, go to the YouTube community post that I just did. We've got it all there for you. So we've got that before the game, the fan cams after. And if you're watching this from New York City, it is confirmed today that at Kara's Bar on the 24th of September, I'll be doing a live watch-along and Q&A with an ex-Liverpool player at Kara's Bar in New York for the Kop TV. It's going to be unbelievable. So if you're in New York next Saturday, make sure you come to Carragher's around midday for that. It's going to be unbelievable. So much great stuff to look forward to on the Kop TV. Amazing content to come from myself, James, Ruby, Mario, Tammy, the whole lot. Can't wait for you to see it all. Take care. Make sure at 11:40 you are locked in. Little burp. You are locked into the Kop TV tomorrow to watch Hot Topics live. Take care.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15